Hi guys, it's Prime here. So today gonna be just introduction to Revit itself, or because we use Revit for 2D drawings, we use it for 3D drawings, for architecture, for structurals, for a lot of drawings here. But today we'll be focused on architectural, not just today. For the rest of from the beginning to the end of this course, we'll be focused on architectural because we're trying to work on 2D drawings, we're trying to work on 3D drawings, okay? Plans and elevations and 3Ds of the building. So this is how the Revit should I say interface here, the first look of Revit. When you click on Revit, this is how it's going to look like. So the first thing we need to do here is to click on architectural, not just today. For the rest of from the beginning to the end of this course, we'll be focused on architectural because we're trying to work on 2D drawings, we're trying to work on 3D drawings, okay? Plans and elevations and 3Ds of the building. So this is how the Revit should I say interface here, the first look of Revit. When you click on Revit, this is how it's going to look like. So the first thing we need to do here is to click on new. That's the new models here. So click on new. Okay. So we change our template to architectural. So, so we change our template to architectural because we're trying to work on plans, we're trying to work on buildings, yeah. So we're not focused on construction or structural or mechanical. Okay. Then we click on open. So make sure your project is in your create new is on project, yeah. So remember architectural template, then project. Then click on OK. I'm sorry, it might take a while to load. Uh okay. Yeah, the right inside. Okay. So this is the interface of Revit, yeah. So this is how it looks like. We have the architectural, as you can see, the architectural here. So this is what we will be using mostly. So we'll be using the architectural, we'll be using the insert, which is for inserting stuff from outside, whatever you want to bring in, maybe some furniture, some, you know, different types of things we're gonna insert from outside. I don't know why it's taking a while to load. Yeah. Then we have the annotate. We'll work on our annotations when we're doing our dimensions, we're doing our basic text and dimensions basically. And also we're going to be using view. So view is for rendering 3D views when you want to view your building in 3D, when you want to work on the plans, the elevations, and so on. Then we have the manage here. So the manage is when we're trying to edit some things. It's more like modify, but based on the material aspects here. We might not really be using the manage. We have to modify also. So this is the modify settings where we have different types of modification that we can make. We have the offset. We'll be looking through all these things one by one, but I just want you guys to understand the interface first before we start looking into that. Okay. On my right hand side here, we have the project browser. So this project browser is where you're going to edit your levels, your site levels. If you, let's say, you're building a three-story building, you're gonna have level one, level two, level three. But here now it's showing us like basically like a two-story building, yeah. So it's just a level zero and level one. I can change this to level one and level two. So we have the ceiling plans. This ones you're gonna know with time. This is just to allow you guys to know about everything here. Okay. So the ceiling fan will also be on level zero and level one until I change this. So okay, let's say now I want to rename this one. Okay, let's say I rename this one to be level two. Okay, and click on yes. And I said I renamed this one to be level one. Yeah, now click and yes, you see the ceiling plan has also changed for the floor plans. Okay, so for this now, if I want to draw, I have to draw my floor plan on level one. Then the next level, the level as the level two, maybe like the second floor. Then I'll click on these and I'll draw the second floor on the level two. As we start working on it, you guys are gonna understand how it works. Okay, we have the 3D view here also. If you want to view your building in 3D, we have the elevations, that's the east, north, south, west. As you can see, these things here are the one representing the elevations, yeah? Okay. Then we have the legends. You don't really need this one because it goes focused on plans basically. We have the to-dos, we have the sheets. It's where we're working on, title page. We want to change our title. We want to put our buildings in the title page. Everything is going to be linked one by one. Then we have the families. This is when we are trying to import things into our drawing. We have the ceilings, we have the columns, different types of things that you want to import into your drawing, different types of roofs, different types of ramps, you know that different. Okay, different types of windows, how to import different sizes and so on. When it comes to the walls, also different types of basic walls and so on. Okay. Then we have the groups also. This is when you are, you want to work in groups. Maybe you want to add two things together, like a component just to working groups, but all these ones are not really needed. Yeah. Okay. What we're gonna be focused on is that's the floor plan that we have here. We have the ceiling plans. If you're gonna be drawing ceilings, we have the 3D views, we have the elevations, we have the sheets, which is very important, and we have the families also. Okay. So on my left hand side here is now, the property section. So the property section is based on the elements or the architectural build that you're working with. Okay, so let's see. As you can see here now, under this build here, we have a wall, doors, windows, components, columns, roof, like everything that's under here. So when I click on one of them, yeah, so this property section will show me the details of that wall and how I can edit them in case I want to like make some adjustments, just make some, differences and all that, just based on my own preference, yeah. So you guys are gonna learn all these things also as we, start learning one by one, maybe starting from walls and windows and doors. So different lessons. I'm gonna create all the lessons for you guys so you guys can understand. Okay. So here also we have the circulation. So the circulation, like I've always taught you guys, circulation is how you move in your building, how you move in your own space. So under the circulations, we have the railings, we have the ramps, and we have the stairs. Okay. Then we have the model. So model here is yes needed too. Yeah, you can use it too, but you know it's just easy for you, just to click on it and work on some text, model some lines, and so on. Then we have the room and room separators. All these ones are not really needed. We're not going too deep into that. Yeah. And here also we have the datum. So the datum helps you with your levels and your grid lines. Everything are gonna be taught one by one. I'm gonna create videos for everything one by one. This is just for you to understand the interface and the ones we're going to be using. Yeah. And down here we have some ribbon down here where we have some. It's based on the visuals of the building. If you want it to be fine, there's a detail level that you have here. As you can see, we have the coarse, we have the medium, we have the fine. And down here also we have the graphic display options. How do you want your building to be? I taught you guys this thing in I taught you guys this in I think digital technology. How you can view your building, wireframes, you can view your building in shaded textures, realistics, just to know how the building is gonna feel, in different aspects or depending on the kind of projects you're working on. Okay. And how here we have the sunsets. This is mainly used, maybe where you are trying to render or how you want to view your buildings based on the solar systems or the solar study of our surrounding. Then here we have the what do we have here? I think that's just like a moon or something. Okay, shadows on here. See if you want to add shadows to your building. You want to make them look like, this is real kind of, yeah, you get. So we have the crop view, we have the show crop regions, we have the temporary hide, we have the review hidden elements, we have temporary views, we have hide analytical models, and we have the review constraints. So all these things are the things that we're going to be working with as soon as we start working. And don't remember, this is the interface, and we'll be working with what? Architectural. We'll be working with insert. We'll be working with annotate. We'll be working with views. We'll be working with manage, modify, working with the project browser. On my right hand side here, we'll be working with uh, properties on my left hand side here. So you all can see here. I told you, don't remember, don't forget. We have the level one, level two, based on the amount of levels you want to have. Yeah, if it's a 3-story building, it's a 5-story building. Yeah, then it has to have 5 levels. Yeah, if it's a 2-story building, it has to have 2 levels. If it's a 1 story, that's a bungalow. Yeah, so it has to have what? um 1 level. You get, okay, and you also have the site also. Maybe you want to have some, green grass, everything on the area after drawing your plans. That you can use the site for that. Okay, so that is that on the basic knowledge that you need to know about the interface of um Revit. Okay, so under the modifier here also, let me just go through this one. Under the modifier here, you can still have the property section, which is shown here also. We have the geometry, controls, modify, view, measure, create. So even if you want to measure something, you don't really have to go to um annotate to make your measurement. You can still just come here to modify, measure that thing. Yeah. Everything is easy. I promise you, everything is easy. You're gonna understand everything with time. Don't worry yourself, yeah? It's just letting you know how everything works, how everything looks like here before we dive into work. Thank you. And have a good one there.